So just a little bit of side wind as they head out towards that first and second marker. But yes, 18 crews now lining up. They're all out on the water with about half an hour or so warming up. They've been back behind the start line on their own little course. We can see the markers there. But here is the start list of final A of the Coxed women's quads. We have Great Britain 01, France 02, Great Britain 02, USA 01, Monaco 02, New Zealand 02, Monaco 01, Netherlands 01, New Zealand 01, Ireland 02. Then we have Germany 03, Poland 01, Ireland 03, USA 2, Spain 1, Germany 1, Germany 2 and Denmark 1. So lots of entries from the same nations. We have a few Great Britain, a few from New Zealand, a few from Ireland, Germany, USA. So this is going to be an exciting race for us. So just gearing up to the start. So the 3-minute hooter should have gone and the first ball should have dropped here. So crews will be keeping an eye on those. You can see they're all lined up, trying to get their own space on the start. Floating start this year, which can be a challenge, although I know some people prefer this type of start. The last few years we've seen the beach starts where the rowers and cocks are generally standing out of the boat on the water on the shoreline and having to jump in. So this is a different ball game, having to go from floating position. We can see the start boat there again, 2 balls in the air. That lets us know that there's 2 minutes to go. I'm sure they'll be dropping that second last one now to let us know that it's nearly time to go. So much pedigree in these boats. Lots of Olympians in these boats. And lots of club rowers as well. We mentioned earlier how accessible this sport is because you are representing your club even though it's a World Championships. And so to be a club rower, I've been there many times myself, to be lining up against national rowers, Olympians, it doesn't happen too often in many sports. So it's such a cool aspect of coastal rowing and the sport. Now crews have to be so careful that they don't cross that start line. We're seeing shots there of David Hussey on the left-hand side of our picture. He's coxing a composite crew from Ireland, Arklow Rowing Club, Kilmac-Simon, Castletown Bear and Portmagee. So he is well experienced in coxing these races, so he'll know exactly where he needs to be at this start. So as I was mentioning, you do not want to cross that start line too early because you will get a 2-minute penalty. But crews now off to a nice start. Great to be joined here again by Yuri, just running in off the beach. You've been working on your tan, have you?
Yes, like constantly working. Same as all the girls that are now in the women's quadruple sculls. I'm pretty sure pretty tanned already from waiting from the start. So I believe that it's going to be a pretty fast race now.
I absolutely think it is, and we all know that these quad races are always so exciting. So all off to a clean start here. So in this race, it's so important to get such a fast start and get out into that leading pack because you do not want to be trailing anyone at this point. Not only will you be caught in a bit of messy water from the other crews, but also because there's so many turning points, there's 8 in these 4K races, you do not want to get stuck at any of those. So at the moment, it looks like it is Poland. We mentioned these rowers earlier. They're leading out from New Zealand 2, Denmark 01 in 3rd, followed in by Netherlands and Ireland 03. Anyone you're looking forward to seeing in this race?
Well, of course, the Dutch. I mean, that is a very interesting team that they composed there. It's probably one of the strongest teams that they already showed us the great results in the heat. They were fast, and as you see, there are a lot of big names there. And it's, I would say, probably the favorites like to winning gold, but let's see how it develops.
Yes, of course, Netherlands have won gold in this category last year, but we have a completely new crew this year. They're Caroline Florin, of course, gold Olympian medalist there from Paris in the women's solo. She's made her way over to coastal rowing. They're currently sitting in second position. First place, though, we mentioned them earlier, the crew from Poland, Agnieszka Kobos-Zawaszka there, also an Olympian medalist from Tokyo 2020. That crew were third at the European Championships this summer. Here they are leading it out. I'm sure they'll be very happy to be in that position.
Well, just believe me that Agnieszka and Marta, Barbara and Susan, they just going to try it hard as far as they can, and then probably die somewhere in the middle, then be reborn somewhere in the last quarter, and then just try to fight for the middle position.
Well, this is a very good place to be at this point in the race.
Definitely, because don't forget that before we were watching like some small boats, let's say a double scull, there are only 4 oars altogether, and now we have a complete fleet of the quads, and if they're gonna arrive to the first turning point, it's gonna be just a very, very, let's say, carnage condition if they getting over and too close to each other.
So it looks like a Netherlands 01 now moving in to the lead here now. They finished second in their heat, but we have a lot of pedigree in that boat, as we mentioned. Caroline Florin there winning the gold medal at the Olympics, and Dwight Vetter there coxing. She was second in the men's 8. She coxed them to a silver medal. So I'm just looking at Poland, seem to have fallen off our GPS here now. I'm trying to look at the pictures to see if they're still on the water or if something happened them.
No, I don't think that anything happened. I think it's some issues with the GPS, because you see how it's jumping there and here. So I could imagine that to this team can happen something bad of that sort, because they're just such powerful women. So, I mean, they definitely just rushed out together with the top teams. And definitely to look at is a New Zealand team together with Emma Twigg, Bibiana Colgan, Brooke Francis, and Spurs Luki. Very strong crew, something to expect from them. So, and as we see, they are now moving in the second position, just slightly behind or even in front. At this point in the race, it's pretty hard to say who is where. But let's just wait out, say 2-3 minutes, and then it's going to be a bit more clear.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the GPS are just falling off some of these crews, but definitely still Poland leading it out here now as they head up to this first marker. They're about 200 metres less off that first marker. Those first 4 crews seem to have a nice bit of space between themselves, but it's very bunched up then back behind them, kind of 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th position right on top of each other. So still Poland leading it out here now, followed in by Netherlands. Things keep changing here. New Zealand 01, as you mentioned, 3 Olympians in that boat. USA 1 then also rowing really well here. They're representing next level rowing. Then Ireland 03, so that is the composite I mentioned, coxed by David Hussey. They were second at the Europeans, 3 of those rowers and David were second at the Europeans and third. A few of them got a bronze medal last year at the World Championships, so they're in kind of top 5, top 6 positions at the moment. Ireland 02 then as well, they did brilliant yesterday. They won their heat, unlucky for Ukraine who were excluded for missing a turning point. But Ireland 02 managed to win that heat, and here they are in that leading pack as well.
Well, as we see that for the crew from Poland, it's everything is optimal, because as they made a pretty clean turn with no destructions, just aiming for the second buoy, and I think at this point this is a very good position to be at. And if they, I mean, I could imagine if they gonna make it fast to the second buoy, it's something to respect that they could win the whole race, and that is definitely would be just a fantastic performance from the Polish crew. But you know, everything can happen. There are still much more meters to row. There are gonna be additional power needed, but yes, as we see now, they are still in front and building up the advantage.
Absolutely, and we can see conditions there actually have kind of eased off from the last few hours. And of course, these quads, these big boats, they're at least 130 kilograms each. They're well able to use these conditions, so not too tricky, just as long as you stay nice and clean with your rowing, nice and efficient. We're seeing shots there of Ireland 03. They're moving up alongside, looks like USA, but still leading it out. We have Poland from Netherlands. So things
Monaco.
here now, Monaco are there as well. We hadn't mentioned them either. So they're all there pretty much in a straight line now as they head down towards this second marker. As you mentioned, this one is going to be important. This is the really sharp turn coming up. And we can see second position now trying to put on a bit of a push here. So Netherlands 01, New Zealand 01, trying to get up nice and close to Poland.
Now we have in the middle of the picture the young crew from Monaco, very small city, but aquatic city. So they have this long tradition of the delivering an outstanding performance in the coastal rowing. They are, by the way, organizing also one of the most famous regattas at the end of the year in December. It's called the Prince Albert dos challenge, where there the international representation, so the Monaco team can also move a bit forward as well.
So we're seeing shots there of the leaders, Poland. I'm sure they're going to be, a few of them will be quite surprised that they're in this position. I know Susan Doyle and Peter, husband and wife there. Susan has been so nervous in the lead up to this race. I'm sure she cannot quite believe her eyes to be looking back at 17 other boats right now at this position as they head up to the halfway point in this race. Agnieszka, of course, has been there or thereabouts every year. Herself and Maciek, her husband, have been at so many World Championships. Been unfortunate in a lot of the championships with seats and different things, but again, I'm sure she'll be like thrilled to be in this position now at this time.
I'm pretty sure they are all in at these moments. They are super pumped. They just really happy deep inside. They cannot believe like their eyes what they see right now, but they had fight it till now very hard, and this advantage that they build up, it's gonna help them much in the chicane.
Yeah, we see a crew there just having to stop up to avoid a collision. Very important, rather than getting caught up and losing time. Let's see if there's going to be another collision. Looks like they're going to come straight into the side of them. Oh, so unfortunate. Third boat now trying to get around them. So there's now allowing these two boats now to come in. Oh, this is disaster for these crews. Looks like maybe Ireland and Spain, USA just moving down the field. That has allowed things to change up the top. Oh, what a disaster. This is
that is
so
unfortunate for the teams, but that's exactly what I was trying to say at the beginning, that if you have that fleet of the quads, it's gonna be just unimaginable to make a clean race. So you see the teams are losing a lot of time, but still the leading one, together with the Polish crew, the Holland and the New Zealand, they are fighting further, and they didn't have that distraction, so they just setting up apart from the field and moving forward and just trying to perform their best at the moment.
Absolutely. So about 1,600 meters to go in this race. Things changing. So it is Poland still leading it out, followed in by Netherlands, New Zealand now in third, and we're going to have a shot here of all the boats getting stopped. We can see the outside boat trying to take a smart line out around, but so unfortunate. This is what happens. Some boats were trying to slow down to avoid a collision, others came in behind them. This is what happens in the sport. This is what makes it exciting for us watching.
Well, I believe it's even very hard to Coxed at the moment to make a decision where actually you have to go, because don't forget that those boats are above 150 kilos, and they have their momentum, so to stop them it's also not that easy. It's not like that you just put stop rowing and they already stopped at that moment. So very challenging for the Coxes as well.
Absolutely, yes. I was chatting to a few Coxes throughout the day. Whitney there from USA would join me in the last race, and she was just saying how confident you have to be. You just have to be so sure of yourself, particularly in a leading crew like Peter Doyle here. We're seeing coxing the Polish crew looking around. This is a really nerve-wracking place to be. You have to be confident in your lines and in your navigation, because you do not want to go wrong, like we saw with Diana Dimchenko earlier, having gone the wrong side of her turning point and getting disqualified from her race. So this is a really important place to be. You have to stay calm. So I'm sure Peter now is feeling the
Peter is
pressure.
now trying to make a bit wider curve so they don't lose that momentum. But let's see how the Dutch crew gonna react, because they don't have actually any space. They're gonna definitely try to go inside, but it could only lead to the collision. So it's very, very challenging for the Coxes right now, how to find the perfect line, how to overtake in this very narrow condition there.
Yes, 1,250 meters to go here now. Netherlands really, after putting on a big push there, tried to take that inside line here now. So they're moving themselves up alongside Poland here now. So it all comes down to who has the better line. And as long as they stay out of each other's way, that's really important, because we often see two crews who are trying to fight here. You know, they often end up in a collision together. So Netherlands really trying to put on the push here now, but it's up to Poland to respond and stay in that position. New Zealand then still holding on to that third position. Germany 03 and 4th. Ireland 02 have moved up into 5th after that previous collision. Monaco 01 in 6th, and Ireland 03 then in 7th. Do you think Poland have enough in them to hold off such an experienced crew in terms of flat water?
I would say it's going to be very interesting on the one a bit longer stretch after the last buoy. That's actually where it's going to be decided, because at the moment still that the Dutch crew just has the Polish crew just has a little advantage in the curve, and you know, like they have even this position advantage. They have the curvature, so I can imagine that at the moment they are in better position. We see that the crew from Holland is just taking a bit wider curve, so they are a bit losing there in speed. But let's see how they're gonna approach the next part. I think that the most important thing at that point for the Dutch crew is just trying to get the nose exactly on their stern, a bit in front of the Polish crew, just to get to the buoy a bit earlier than the opponents, because then they're going to be on the inside lane, and the shorter scope is going to be just by them.
Absolutely. This race here is going to come down to the absolute wire here between Poland and Netherlands. Still Poland have the advantage here. We're into the final 750 meters. Nothing separating these crews here now. Netherlands putting on a big push. Looks like they've gotten themselves in that lead here now, going around that marker. They took a bit of a nicer line there now, staying nice and tight, forcing Poland to go that little bit wider. That means Netherlands now have moved in to the lead ahead of Poland.
But that is now, I would say, a question. Are they going to make it very nicely to the next one? Because don't forget that there are in this chicane is just so many turns, but it seems that they made their way clear. And I hope just that the Polish guys is gonna just stay in front of the New Zealander, but I don't think that New Zealand have that much of a power, but still they are definitely gonna try to attack. The advantage of the Dutch crew is just the watts, and that's what they showed right now, like in the previous straight line. The question is, gonna New Zealand just have the power to outperform their Polish opponents?
I'm not sure if there's enough space here left in the final stages of this race to catch this leading pack. Netherlands now holding off the challenge from Poland. Let's see what the Coxes do around here. Netherlands staying nice and tight. Poland now taking a similar line, and then we're seeing the third place New Zealand, and right up alongside them Germany 03. So it's not over for that bronze medal position here now, but Netherlands here just pulling away now a little bit from Poland, but I'm sure Poland are still going to be very happy to be in this medal position.
Whoa. Oh, I was just thinking that they lost a rowing oar, but that is something special actually what we saw now in this close-up, something special by the New Zealand team. They are always throwing it a bit behind the back, so they have like a bit more of this steering, and as we see that it worked out pretty well, but let's see how the young girls from Germany is gonna perform, and are they gonna get into this bronze medal position. It's it's less than 500 meters to go. Probably 1 or 2 turns, and it's already the straight line directly to the finish. So the first and second places are secured by the both crews of the Netherlands and Poland. I don't think then that here gonna be much of the change. Except there are any mistakes, but it can always happen.
It would be very unfortunate to happen at this stage of the race. I think the race is happening here between New Zealand, Germany 03 and Ireland 02. We saw pushing up there within touching distance of that bronze medal. I'm sure they'll be very happy to be in that position. But look at this from Netherlands. We knew they were going to be strong. We knew they were going to do a very well. Poland have done amazing here in this race.
Definitely.
To be winning for pretty much 3/4 of the race. Unfortunate to be overtaken by Netherlands, but to be in second position here now, that crew from Poland are going to be very happy.
It's a massive result for the Polish crew, and as we were saying all the time, very, very solid performance. Dutch crew just had found their moment where they can overtake this a bit longer stretch in the chicane, and that's what made them actually to the world champions this year in the women's quadruple sculls.
Yes, solid race in there. Netherlands 01 coming in to take the win. They are celebrating the Coastal Women's Coxed Quadruple Sculls. Poland 01 coming in second position. They are going to be delighted, but look at this race that is happening for third position. We have Germany, we have New Zealand, we have Ireland 02. What a sprint from Ireland. They've moved within touching distance of New Zealand. Can New Zealand hold them off? It looks like they will, but what a challenge. It is New Zealand who have come in ahead of Ireland 02, Germany 03.
Wow, that was the finish. That was the fight for the bronze medal. That New Zealand was always in front, but the last stretch, they made it, and they now can be happy with their bronze medal this year.
What a finish out of Germany and Ireland. New Zealand looked to be set in that third position for most of the way around that course. But as we've often said, it's not over till it's over. Ireland and Germany putting on a big push there. So unfortunate to miss out on the podium, but incredible racing there in the women's quad. We're seeing the crews there, the winners, Netherlands. They're going to be very happy with that performance. Caroline Florin, winner of the Olympic gold, and now she can add winner of the women's Coxed Quadruple Sculls World Championships to her haul of medals this year. And then finishing in, we had 5th, Germany 03. Monaco, you mentioned them, 6th position. Ireland 03 then in 7th. USA in 8th, that's USA 02. And New Zealand 02, who were very strong in the first stages of that race. They're finishing in 9th position.
But I think that was exactly the point where they crashed and collided with all other teams, and that's actually what cost them much. In front of us are the team, a young team from the Monaco, very solid performance, 6th place, outstanding. Very young crew. So we wish them all the best for the training as well, like for this year, and maybe next year we could congratulate them for the medals.
Absolutely. It's great to see the medals going to different places. Now, Netherlands, of course, won this category last year as well, but completely new crew here. Bar the Cox. She won last year. She coxed the crew. We saw Yannick and Karian Robbers there in that one last year. They've moved into the double, concentrating on the double and single this year. So new crew in the Netherlands boat, but they're going to be happy to be going home with gold medals.
Well, but that's going to be a very interesting race then in women's double sculls, because Caroline and Marieke, they then enter the double scull just directly after this race. They're just changing the boat, and they are already on their way to the next race. And next race is going to be women double sculls final A.
And we're seeing in the pictures here Ireland 2, Kincasla Rowing Club, Niamh Dugan, Danica Maguire, Katie Sherlow, Claire Fury Cox there by Cian Sweeney. Super finish out of them, finishing just outside the medals there, 4th position, but incredible racing there by those. So seeing beautiful scenes here now, and we're looking at the results. The 3rd final of the day, the win, the gold medal is going to Netherlands 01. Great time, 17:53.82. Poland 01. Then they're definitely going to be happy, I think, with those silver medals to add to their bronze from the European Championships. New Zealand then in 3rd. Ireland 02 just so unlucky to miss out on a medal, 4th position. And Germany as well had a super finish there. There was 3 boats
there was
crossed.
stroke in 37 strokes a minute. We saw that they were trying to get to the New Zealand. Unfortunately, just the New Zealand just had their watts.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that rounds out the 3rd final of the afternoon. Just seeing the rest of the results there. When there's such exciting racing happening in the lead, we often forget about what happens down the rest of the field, but to be in an A final at a World Rowing Coastal Championships is amazing. So congratulations there to all crews.